Good evening, race fans, and welcome back to another Inside Edition of Voice of Victory Lane with Kip Thompson. Hope everyone had a great weekend. There's a lot of great racing in the area. We're going to do a recap of one of our favorite series, the Carolina Clash Super Late Model Dirt Series, here in just a moment. But before, as always, when we open up our shows, we want to give a big thank you to our show sponsor, Tony and Bobby Jackson with Raging Rooster Catering out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. These guys do an awesome job. They will cater to groups of 25 or more. You can look them up on Facebook, Raging Rooster Catering, and you can also find their email address and their phone number on their Facebook page. And hey, I'm rocking a little Raging Rooster Catering swag tonight. Evidently, something with my podcast. I must be doing something right. I got a T-shirt, but I promise you, if you call these guys, they'll do it right. These guys are great. And as always, we talk about the Roosters all-purpose season. Greatest stuff known to man. It's really, really good. And our show guest tonight, Joey Chapman, at several occasions says, hey, man, I got to get some of that. So, Joey, I'm going to bring this bottle to you this weekend and drop this off to you at the Fayetteville Motor Speedway for everything that you do for the show. And you've requested this. And by God, you're going to get you a bottle of all-purpose seasoning by the Rooster himself. Man, welcome back to the show, Joey. How's it going?
It's going great, man. Hey, I appreciate that. I'll put that to use next week. I sure will.
Well,
as it cools down a little bit, it's a good time. It's always a good time to grill, so we will make good use of that.
No doubt about it, man. Bobby Jackson, the Rooster himself, that all-purpose season, man, it is just – it's awesome. And it's something that a lot of people, I think when they're cooking, they do marinating and whatever. Well, this is not a marinade. So basically you grill your food, cook it, do whatever you want to do. And when you take it off the grill, take it off the air fryer, whatever, you're sprinkling on it. And I'll tell you, man, it is really, really top-notch stuff. Bobby Jackson and Tony Jackson, those guys at Raging Rooster Catering, they are awesome. And, I'm going to hand deliver this to you in Pitts this weekend at the Fayetteville Motor Speedway, courtesy of me and Bobby and Tony Jackson. How about that?
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Let's jump into the show. Carolina Clash Super Late Model Dirt Series in action this past weekend, September the 17th, inside the County Line Raceway at Elm City. A great show, packed house. These guys had 26 race cars on the racetrack. Joey Chapman and I, as promised, going to bring it back to you and give you a racing recap. Joey, I'm going to let you take it away, man. An awesome show from what I heard. Try to watch it on my Race Pass and Race Monitor. A field full of cars, good quality cars. I looked at the top five, when you guys came out. I mean, my God, Michael Roush, Daniel Tucker, Christian Thomas, Steve Bernard, and then Ethan Wilson.
Yep.
I mean, that top five to start that race, along with behind him, somewhere down in the pack is your series points leader. And, 26. And, dude, you started all of them. What an awesome show, guys.
Yes, sir. It sure was. We had a great field of cars, great turnout. The racetrack and the staff, they were ready. Everything went off really, really good. And, I want to give a big shout-out to County Line Speedway and the promoter there, Brenda Holcomb. And then, like you said, we had 26 cars. Normally we start 24. Brenda said, I don't want to send anybody home without getting paid. So we started all 26 cars. Everybody got paid. And it might not seem like much to a lot of people, but under normal circumstances, 2 people would have went home and without any money. Well, because of her generosity and wanting to just do what's right and promote the sport, she reached in her pocket and agreed to pay those remaining 2 cars, with the help of the Carolina Clash Series. So everybody got paid. And, and it makes you feel good, too, when I was riding home Sunday and somebody had posted on Facebook that they recognized that. And so many times people are quick to see when they see something wrong and call it out. And for somebody to acknowledge what they saw at the racetrack, that means a lot. And there again, it goes to show you what racers are. So they do appreciate it. We have to put up with a lot trying to run a series with egos and tempers and all of that stuff. But deep down, they're all good people, and they really do appreciate what you try to do for them.
And one of the cool things about that, I know the content you're talking about. I saw it. It's a fellow race car driver that made that post. So to get a thank you and to get that gratitude, Hey, our hats off to Miss Brenda and that whole crew. I love County Line Raceway, man. When I go there to announce a race, J.R. Knotts, man, one of the nicest guys in a booth to announce a race in. I mean, it's just a really cool facility. How they have that little tower is super cool. How you announcer's got his own space, and you got the race directors and your scores. Everybody's up above him, and you got a wide open view of that place. And just hats off to County Line Raceway for doing that. And anybody home. Not many racetracks would have done that, Joey. You guys are very fortunate to see that unfold right there with you guys Saturday night.
Yes, sir. You know, and then on top of that, man, we had a great show. You know, like you said, Michael Rouse sat on the pole, led from the pole, led every lap, got out to a pretty good lead at one point in time. When he got up in some traffic, Christian Thomas had run him down, and Christian actually passed him once, and Michael passed him back. And so for about 6 or 8 laps there, they had a heck of a race going on. And once Michael got in clear traffic, you know, he was a little faster. He kind of got away from them. And Daniel Tucker ran really well. Him and Christian Thomas had a great race going. And unfortunately, Daniel got caught up in a wreck later on in the night and didn't get a really good finish. Christian fell back to third. Stephen All ended up second. You know, so it was just a great night, good show. You know, like you said, packed house. Couldn't ask for it to go much better.
Well, earlier in the podcast last week, we were talking about the Carolina Clash going back to its roots. Over 20 years ago, actually 23 years ago, because it was the year 2000 when the Carolina Clash had their very first race, and it was held right there in Elm City, North Carolina, at the County Line Raceway. I did notice that the winner of that first race was among the 26 drivers who was there this weekend. Mr. Roger, he was there in the car. And it's just a great way to commemorate. It's always fun, man, to go back where things got started.
It is, you know, and it's a credit to that facility. It's a credit to the Carolina Clash. You know, I'm not bragging on either one of them, but in this day and time, if you can do anything over a 20-year span, you've got to be doing some things right, you know, or people would continue to come. And so it was a thrill to go back to where it all started, where Larry Lee had the very first race. And, you know, we hope to continue that with Brenda and County Line Speedway. We're working on a schedule for next year and working on a date for that. I don't look for it to be a whole lot different than it was this year, you know, so, you know, that's just going to continue moving forward.
Well, I knew last week, starting to see confirmations of drivers who was going to be with you guys this past week. Immediately, I mean, I didn't go ahead and just say, you know, throw in a towel. But Michael Rouse, the Sweet Potato Express, the driver, the number 23, Scott Farms deal there, he's really good at County Line. That's his home racetrack. I know he's right there from the Wilson area. I knew he was going to be hard to guard. But there again, I mean, you know, looking through that list of drivers, I mean, 26 race cars. Again, let's bring that up, 26 race cars. And a lot of good quality race cars through that field. And I guess, you know, maybe not all 40 laps because you said Christian did get past him. I knew that Rouse would be hard to guard there. But, I mean, what a stud field full of cars you guys had.
It was, man. And that's one of those facilities. When you go there, there are always 5 or 6 guys there that you better have your running shoes on because they're going to be fast, they're going to be dialed in, and they're hard to beat. You know, and Michael and Christian Thomas and those guys, Daniel Tucker, they fall in that category. They're hard to beat there. And Michael's had a great display. But, you know, not only there, you know, earlier in the year when we were at Fayetteville, Michael sat on the pole. He set fast time at Fayetteville for a Clash race we had at the first of the year that Johnny Pursley ended up winning the race. But, you know, so Rouse has been fast. That was his very first Carolina Clash win. And, you know, so it was a big night for him. You know, and it's always good to see a new winner. You know, obviously Michael's won a lot of races in his career, but he became the 84th different winner to win a Carolina Clash race Saturday night at County Line Speedway.
And that's one thing that I was about to touch on. You kind of beat the punch. Great minds think alike. Not only with his first Clash win, but the 84th different winner at a Carolina Clash event. I mean, how awesome is that? 84 different winners.
It was, man. It was great, and I'm already thinking ahead. I want some new guys to win. I can't wait on the 100th. That's going to be a big deal, to somebody. Will be to us, so, if we could script it, we want it to be somebody's first class win and let it be the 100th different winner. That would really be a cool deal. But however it unfolds, we're going to be excited about it and promote it. And, it's always good to see people get first, whether it's a first win, when you accomplish something that you've set out to do most of your life, it's cool to see people do that.
Well, that is an awesome deal, and I hope we're both still around and connected at the hip when we get to that 100th guy. That way, because I'll be glad to help you promote it, do whatever, bring it to everybody's attention. But you talk about Roush picking up his first win and talking about the good quality of cars there. You got to talk about consistency. Dennis Rambo still doing his thing. I think he made a little deal there, Dennis Rambo Franklin, where he got into maybe got him like 5 more points or whatever this weekend and kind of stretches that lead. Still having a phenomenal year, and as we speak right now, still top of the leaderboard in the point standing with the Carolina Clash Super Late Model Series.
Yes, sir. Contender week in and week out, came home with a 5th place finish, extended his lead a little bit in the points over Adam Yarborough. And, he's doing the things that he needs to do so he can win the championship at the end of the year. It's not over yet, though. Anything can happen. 2 or 3 years ago, honestly, and unfortunately it was Rambo. Rambo had a pretty big lead over Brett Ham, and the last couple of races had a little trouble, had some bad luck, and Brett ended up winning him, beating him at the last race on the last lap. Up until the last lap, it was not decided who the champion was going to be. That's how close it was that year. Now, Rambo has a little more breathing room this year, but he knows what it's like, so he will still work just as hard as he has been to be prepared to make sure that it doesn't slip away from him.
Well, congratulations to him. Rambo's been doing this a long time, a seasoned veteran, and I always love to see him, such a big guy, when he gets out of the car, and just like a gentle giant, you know what I'm saying? Just a really nice, easy to talk to and everything. And so, congratulations to him. Congratulations goes out. Let's congratulate a couple of people. Let's congratulate number one, your winner, Michael Roush. Let's congratulate County Line on a class act, not sending anybody home. A series where you normally start 24 drivers, where there was 26. They step up, not going to send anybody home, and make sure that all 26, get to race. Brenda Holcomb and the whole staff at County Line, kudos to you. Hats off from the Voice of Victory Lane. Hats off from Joey Chapman, all the fans and everybody. Thank you for stepping up and doing that. So Michael Roush is your feature at the County Raceway this past week in Elm City. We're going to come back in just a few moments after we hear from our sponsor. We're going to talk to Joey Chapman about what's up next for the Carolina Clash right after these special messages. Tonight's show is being sponsored by Raging Rooster Catering out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. We cater any event, big or small, weddings, holiday events, and festivals. Call us today, 910-237-4565. Follow us on Facebook at Raging Rooster Catering. We invite you to come get you some. Okay, fans, welcome back to the second part of another edition of Inside Voice of Victory Lane. Kip Thompson. Again, our special host, our guest tonight is Joey Chapman. Now, we've talked about the Carolina Clash Super Late Model Dirt Series. Congratulations goes out to Michael Roush on winning this past weekend, the 17th of September at the Carolina Raceway, not only capturing his first Carolina Clash win, but also being the 84th different driver in the 20-year history of the Carolina Clash Super Late Model Dirt Series. All right, now we're going to talk about what's coming up next with the Carolina Clash Super Late Model Dirt Series, and all going to take place this weekend. Joey, let's talk about your return to the Fayetteville Motor Speedway.
Yes, sir. We're coming to Fayetteville Motor Speedway this weekend, Saturday night, the 24th of September, for the Big C Carlson Lamb Memorial, second annual, $7,500 to win, $500 to start. It's going to be a great show. Obviously it means a lot to me for it to be the Big C race. Carlson Lamb obviously meant a lot to me, meant a lot to a lot of folks in the racing industry. So to be a part of it and for Fayetteville to invite the Clash in to be a part of that last year. To do the very first one was special, and we're just wanting to continue this tradition year after year. And I will tell you, this will not be the last one. There's plans in place for the next two already.
Oh, wow. So that's incredible. That's, last year, the inaugural first annual Big C race, I mean, it was great. And you just think how good it was last year. The crowd was involved in it. Really, really great field of race cars. And, you always want to think, well, man, I missed the first one. I certainly don't want to miss the second one. But now we know people are going to get the opportunity to see a second one, a third one, and a fourth one. So we'll wait for the official announcement when schedules and stuff come out. But it's always exciting, not only, Joey, to have you on our show as often as you are. It's always fun to be at the racetrack with you because it's always like a stroll down memory lane. And, earlier we were talking today, and this is not just any other race. This is a race to honor a man that meant so much to me and to you and to so many people. It's almost kind of like a reunion, man. People get together and, hey, you remember back in 1994, man, when Jeff Smith won that race down at Volusia? It's always fun, to get around and to know that the center of that conversation is about a man that meant so much to us.
Oh yes, it's unbelievable. From the very first time I met Carlton, to moving to Benson to go to work for him and working for him all those years, and even after we kind of parted ways, and just to see him continue with the success that he had. He always gave you what you needed to succeed. And, in his car dealerships, in his race team, and, everything in life. He was just one of those guys that he helped you take that step up and better yourself, and I'm one of those people who had that opportunity to do that. And so it does mean a lot to me. And, Dave Mitchell and them are working extremely hard to put on a great show. He's one of the hardest working promoters in the country, and people really need to come out and see what he is doing right there off of I-95 in Fayetteville.
Well, it's going to be a great show. I look forward to seeing you. Again, we want to congratulate on the first part of the show. We want to congratulate Michael Roush on picking up the Carolina Clash Super Late Model Dirt Series win this weekend at the County Line Raceway. Not only was that his first win, again, we'll make a note that that's the 84th different driver in the history of the Clash Series to win a race. And also, we want to congratulate and tip our hat and say a big, huge thank you and compliment the staff, Brenda Holcomb and the staff down at the County Line Raceway for a series who normally starts 24 cars, 26 cars on hand. They dip into the pocket, pay everybody, didn't send anybody home, and thank you for what you do there, Miss Brenda. A great racetrack, a great facility, a great atmosphere, and I know, Joey, that was a great show to be a part of this past Saturday night.
Yes, sir, it sure was. We're just going to continue moving forward. We got Fayetteville that's coming up. We've got a date that we're still trying to work on in October. We've got Sumter. We've got big races at Carolina and Cherokee Speedway to close out the year. So we're really looking to finish strong, cap this season off. And like I said, we're already working on plans for really the next couple of years.
Well, that is awesome. And we are just really looking forward to a big, huge event this weekend inside the Carolina Bull Ring, the Fayetteville Motor Speedway off of Doc Bennett Road, off of Interstate I-95. We'll be going kicking it live this weekend. It's going to be big. This is going to be a really, really big show. It's big because it's about Big C. We're racing for Big C this weekend. Carlton Lamb, a man that was very, very special to many of us and throughout the racing industry throughout the country. And we're going to celebrate the life and remember him in a very special way this weekend inside the Fayetteville Motor Speedway. Stay tuned with us. We're going to be doing some more shows this week, promoting that race a little bit more in depth. And we will just be talking about everything that's going to be going on and setting the table for a $7,500 payday for some guy this Saturday inside the Carolina Bull Ring. For Joey Chapman, I'm Kip Thompson, Voice of Victory Lane Podcast. Thank you to our sponsor, Raging Rooster Catering, for all that you guys do. We're super excited to have you guys as our sponsor. Be sure to follow those guys on Facebook. You can find their email address and their telephone number. And also be sure to go to YouTube, Voice of Victory Lane. Like, share, and subscribe. Go to Facebook and share and like our page. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back with you again this week. I'm fixing to hit the road. I'm on my way to Fayetteville Motor Speedway right now to go do a show with Dave Mitchell tonight. Burning Midnight Oil. The Voice of Victory Lane is on the road. We're heading down to go see David Mitchell and talk about the comeback for the second part of the 2022 season and what's left remaining coming up at the Fayetteville Motor Speedway. We'll see you guys this weekend. Again, that's Joey Chapman. I'm Kip Thompson. We're out of here. We'll see you Saturday at the Fayetteville Motor Speedway.